Welcome to the deep dive. We cut this really interesting piece you sent over, basically a success guide, but inspired by GRWM videos.
Yeah, get ready with me. It's kind of wild, right?
Totally. Taking something so everyday almost and pulling out these like universal steps for achieving goals.
Exactly. And it applies to pretty much anything launching a YouTube channel, sure, but also, starting a business or even just pursuing a personal passion project.
Right. And this guide has 10 core principles, like a roadmap. So today, our mission is to, well, dig into these steps, see how this whole GRWM framework could actually be a useful, maybe even fun way to tackle your own ambitions.
And we know listeners want the info like quick and deep, but without getting totally bogged down.
Exactly. So maybe looking at success through this GRWM lens, maybe it offers a fresh perspective. So where do we start on this GRWM success journey?
Okay, so step one in the guide is define your vision. They call it the story you want to tell.
Okay, the story.
Yeah, it links to how we're all wired for stories.
Yeah.
Like a GRWM creator, they need a hook, a narrative. And for whatever you're doing, you need that clear vision too. It's what keeps you going, inspires others. Otherwise, you're just,
Uttering.
yeah, kind of wandering aimlessly. The guide's pretty clear on that.
Okay, so vision. How do we actually do that? The guide gives some specific ideas, right? Like identifying your passion.
hmm It talks about finding what genuinely excites you. They use this example, Sarah, who wants to open a gluten-free bakery.
Right, because she has celiac disease, that personal why.
Exactly. That passion, it's your core fuel. Your intrinsic motivation is what gets you through the tough stuff. Then it moves to setting a specific goal using the SMART framework.
Ah, yes, SMART goals. Specific, measurable.
Achievable, relevant, time-bound. Yeah. So for Sarah, it's not just, I want a bakery. It's, I want to open it in 18 months, serve X customers a week, hit Y revenue.
Okay, that makes it concrete, not just a dream.
Totally transforms it into an actual plan.
Yeah.
And then there's the visualized success part.
Yeah, the one-page story of the future. Sarah picturing the smells, the happy customers, like a mental movie. Does that really make a difference?
Well, it's about more than just daydreaming. When you vividly picture it, you're kind of strengthening the neural pathways for that goal.
Yeah.
Makes it feel less abstract, more real.
Like the GRWM creator Marcus imagining his festival video going viral.
Spot on. That mental picture probably shapes how he films, how he edits, everything. The guide even suggests, like, tracking how clear your vision is, journaling, rating your confidence weekly.
Oh, interesting. Aiming for like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, consistently within the first month and so.
Yeah.
They suggest spending maybe, 1-2 weeks really nailing down this vision.
Okay, vision set, story defined. What's step 2?
Step 2, know your audience, or as they put it, build connection.
Makes sense. GRWM is all about that creator-viewer connection.
Exactly. And the guide argues that's crucial everywhere. You have to understand who you're trying to reach, what they need, what they want.
Right, you're not just shouting into the void. So how do we figure out our audience?
Well, first, research your audience. Demographics, sure, but also their pain points, their desires. The Sarah example, she surveys local celiac groups.
So actual data, not just guessing.
Exactly. Then engage directly. Talk to people, social media, real conversations. Sarah using like X and TikTok to ask about muffin flavors, that's gold. It's a two-way street.
Yeah, I like that. And creating personas, like profiles of your ideal audience member.
Sarah's Emma, persona 30, celiac, likes cafes, spends X amount on treats. It helps focus everything, the product, the message. You can even think about their whole journey. What are their needs before they find you while they're engaging after?
Ah, so mapping it out. Like for someone newly diagnosed with celiac, what are they looking for?
Precisely. It's about understanding individuals, not just a faceless crowd. The guide suggests aiming for a certain number of interactions early on, tracking feedback.
Like Aaliyah, the career advice GRWM person, she noticed people asking about interview confidence.
And made a video specifically about it. Bang. Huge resonance. They figure this initial audience connection phase takes about 1-2 months.
Okay, got the vision, connecting with the audience. What's next?
Step 3 is master your craft. Or authenticity through skill.
Right, like how a GRWM creator seems authentic because they're confident in their makeup skills or editing or whatever.
Exactly. That skill builds credibility. It also makes you more resilient when things get tricky. It's not just practice, though. It's more like deliberate practice, focusing on the weak spots.
Okay, so putting in the focused work, how does the guide break that down?
First, learn the basics. Lots of free resources out there. Sarah taking a free online baking course. Smart move.
Makes sense. Start foundational.
Then seek mentorship. Find people who know their stuff. Sarah shadowing a local baker. That's like a YouTuber getting editing tips.
Good analogy. And then,
Practice consistently.
yeah.
Dedicate real time to it. Sarah trying out gluten-free recipes over and over.
Yeah.
That's the grind.
Yeah, you got to put the hours in.
For sure. And track it. Like Sarah aiming to perfect 5 core recipes in 3 months. Assess your own progress. Sophia, the GRWM example, she practiced video editing relentlessly. You could see the difference.
And the timeline for the skill building phase.
The guide estimates about 3-6 months to really get those foundational skills solid.
Okay, skills are getting there. Now making it look good. Step 4.
You got it. Step 4, create a compelling presentation. Visual appeal. Very GRWM, this one.
Definitely. Aesthetics are huge there.
But the guide makes a good point. It's broader than just visuals online. It's your website, your pitch deck, Sarah's bakery stall. How things look and feel matters.
So how do we nail the presentation?
Invest in basics. Doesn't have to be expensive. Sarah getting some nice, simple decor for her market stall. That's like a creator getting a decent ring light. Makes a difference.
Affordable upgrades. Good tip.
Then learn design principles. Basic stuff, color, balance, keeping it simple. Sarah using Canva for her logo and flyers. Super practical,
Canva's a lifesaver.
isn't it? And crucially, test and iterate. Get feedback. See what works. Sarah realizing her farmer's market sign wasn't big enough. That's learning on the fly.
Yeah, you can't just set it and forget it.
Nope. Continuous improvement. Track the positive feedback. See what presentation elements get more engagement. Look at Emma's GRWM videos. Super successful, always visually appealing. That's not an accident.
And the timeline for getting the presentation sorted.
Around 2 to 4 months, they reckon, to develop a strong visual identity.
All right, looking good, skills are sharp. How do we keep the momentum going?
That takes us to step 5. Build consistency or show up regularly.
Ah, the posting schedule principle from creators.
Exactly. When GRWM creators post reliably, viewers trust them, they stick around. Same applies everywhere. Regular effort builds momentum, shows you're reliable.
So establish a rhythm.
Yeah. Set a schedule. Commit to it. Sarah, being at the market every Saturday, posting on social media every Wednesday, that's consistency.
And don't bite off more than you can chew initially.
Right. Start small. Manageable tasks. Sarah perfecting 1 recipe a week before adding more. Smart.
Use tools to help.
Definitely. Use tools. Trello, Notion, whatever works. Sarah using something like that to manage her baking schedule, her market prep, keeps things organized.
Makes sense. Keep track of it all.
And monitor it. Track your streaks. How many weeks in a row did you hit your goals? Watch your audience growth. Marcus, the GRWM guy with the Friday uploads, his subscriber count climbs steadily. Proof is in the pudding.
And how long till you see results from consistency?
It's ongoing, obviously, but the guide suggests you'll probably start seeing real positive effects after about 3-6 months of consistent effort.
Okay, consistency is key. But things change, right? You can't just do the same thing forever.
Spot on. Which brings us to step 6, engage and adapt, aka creative experimentation.
Like creators trying new video styles or hopping on trends.
Exactly that. The point is you got to stay relevant, keep things fresh, avoid getting stale. And that means trying new things and actually listening to feedback.
So what are the strategies here?
Well, try new formats. Experiment. Sarah running a Name the Muffin contest on Instagram. Fun way to boost engagement.
I like that. Gets people involved.
Yeah. And incorporate feedback. Really listen. Sarah tweaking her scone recipe because customers said it was a bit too sweet. That shows she cares.
Builds loyalty too, probably.
Definitely. And finally, take risks. Step outside the comfort zone. Sarah launching a pop-up baking class. That's a bit of a leap, but could pay off big.
So don't be afraid to shake things up.
Not at all. Plan little experiments regularly. Track what happens. Did engagement go up? Did sales dip? Sophia adding a live Q&A to her GRWMs and seeing viewer numbers jump. That's experimenting successfully.
And how often should we be trying new things?
The guide suggests maybe trying something new every month or 2. Keep iterating.
Okay, engaging, adapting. How do we build something more lasting, like a real following?
Good question. That's step 7. Build a community. Foster loyalty.
Ah, so moving beyond just transactions.
Exactly. Think about successful GRWM creators. They often have this real sense of community. Viewers feel connected. The idea is to build that same kind of network around whatever you're doing. It amplifies everything.
How do you actually foster that loyalty?
Engage personally. Answer comments, reply to DMs, Sarah chatting with followers on X. That personal touch matters.
Takes time, but worth it.
Definitely. Then create shared experiences. Bring people together. Sarah's celiac coffee chat idea, brilliant. connects people with a common interest.
Builds bonds beyond just buying muffins.
Precisely. And reward loyalty. Little perks for regulars. Sarah giving a free cookie to someone who comes every week. Simple, but effective. Makes people feel valued.
Yeah, those little things add up.
They really do. Set a goal, maybe how many truly loyal supporters do you want? Track community growth. Aaliyah's GRWM fans forming their own career club. That's peak community building.
Wow. And how long does building that core community take?
It takes time. The guide estimates around 6-12 months of consistent effort to really build a solid core.
Okay, community's growing, but you gotta pay the bills, right?
Yes. The practical side. Step 8. Monetize strategically. Turn passion into profit.
Right, like creators doing sponsorships, selling merch.
Yeah. And the guide stresses that for long-term sustainability, you usually need to find ways to generate revenue, but strategically. It's about balancing purpose and profit, not selling out your vision. You also need to think about your value proposition. What are you actually offering?
Makes sense. So how do you monetize smartly?
Diversify revenue streams. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Sarah selling muffins and offering classes and maybe an ebook later. That spreads the risk.
Multiple income streams. Good advice.
Also, start small. Test the waters. Sarah started with market sales. Low risk. Lets her learn.
Rather than, say, taking out a huge loan for a shop right away.
Exactly. And crucially, align with values. Make sure how you make money fits your brand. Sarah partnering with an ethical almond flour brand. That feels right for her bakery. Not just any sponsor.
Authenticity again. Keeps the audience trust.
Totally. Set revenue goals. Yeah. Track how diverse your income is becoming. Marcus, the GRWM guy, he has sponsorships and Patreon. Multiple streams working together.
And the timeline for getting revenue going?
Usually takes a bit. Guide says maybe 6-12 months to get those initial streams established.
Okay, but it's not always smooth sailing, is it? There are going to be bumps.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which leads directly into step 9. Stay resilient. Embrace setbacks.
Yeah. How do creators handle a video bombing or getting negative comments?
Right. And the key insight here is viewing those setbacks not as failures, but as learning opportunities. Resilience is like a muscle. You got to build it.
Okay, so how do we build that resilience muscle?
Reframe failure. Change your perspective. That slow market day for Sarah. Instead of I failed, it's, okay, what did I learn? What can I change for next week?
Shift the mindset. Easier said than done sometimes, though.
True. That's why build a support system is crucial. Mentors, peers, friends, people to lean on. Sarah joining that entrepreneur group. Smart. Gets advice, encouragement.
Don't go it alone.
Definitely not. And really important, practice self-care. Manage stress. Avoid burnout. Sarah taking time for meditation, that's vital for the long haul.
Yeah, burnout is real. Gotta look after yourself.
Absolutely. Track how quickly you bounce back. Notice your emotional state. Sophia analyzing her low view video, figuring out why, and improving the next one. That's resilience in action.
And this resilience, it builds over time.
Yeah, the guide suggests it takes maybe 6-12 months of consciously working on these things to really feel stronger.
Okay, last step. We've built something. We're resilient. Where do we go from here?
Step 10. Scale and innovate. Go big.
Ah, the expansion phase. Like when creators launch product lines or new channels.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about not getting complacent. Always looking for ways to grow your impact, stay relevant, stay fresh.
So how do you scale effectively?
Expand reach. Grow your platform. Find new audiences. Sarah may be opening a proper bakery, launching on TikTok to reach younger folks. That's expanding reach.
Going beyond the initial base.
Yeah. And innovate offerings. Add new things. Keep it exciting. Sarah's gluten-free subscription box idea. That's innovation.
Keeps existing customers engaged. Attracts new ones.
Right. And finally, teach others. Share what you've learned. Sarah writing that ebook, maybe mentoring other bakers, that solidifies her expertise and gives back.
Paying it forward, kinda.
Exactly. Set big goals.
Yeah.
Double your reach in a year. Launch 2 new major initiatives. Track that growth. Emma's GRWM channel leading to a whole makeup line. That's serious scaling.
And the timeline for that kind of big scaling.
That's longer term. Guide suggests 12-24 months, maybe more for significant scaling.
Wow. Okay, so those are the 10 steps. And even though the inspiration is GRWM, it feels, really broadly applicable. The guide mentions other examples too, right?
Yeah, Priya the entrepreneur, Jamal in creative arts, Lisa using it for her career.
Yeah.
It shows the principles themselves are pretty universal.
It really does. Vision, audience skills, presentation, consistency, adapting, community, monetization, resilience, scaling. It covers a lot of ground.
It does. And what's neat is how these fundamentals, vision, connection, skill, persistence, They just keep popping up as essential, no matter the field.
The guide also touches on common roadblocks, right? Time management, self-doubt.
Competition, burnout, yeah. Offers strategies, too, often mirroring what creators face.
Like Sarah using Pomodoro for time, reframing negative thoughts, figuring out her unique selling point.
Prioritizing rest. It acknowledges the journey isn't easy, there will be challenges. The key is learning, adapting, and just keeping going.
And the bigger picture here, it's not just about individual success, is it?
No, the guide makes a point that following this kind of path is also about creating value for other people, building connections, and ultimately kind of empowering yourself to shape your own future.
Taking control of your own story.
Exactly. That GRWM idea of sharing and connection, it sort of expands outward. By following these steps, you're potentially building something that genuinely benefits others.
So, wrapping it all up, this 10-step plan, inspired by GRWM videos, it's really about blending that creativity and connection we see online with, well, solid strategy and hard work.
Vision, connection, skill, presentation, consistency, adaptation, community, smart monetization, resilience, and innovation. It's a pretty solid framework, actually.
Surprisingly robust, yeah.
Simple principles,
Mhm.
but when you apply them intentionally, they can really guide you towards whatever you're aiming for.
So for everyone listening, maybe the first step is just that. Take a moment, define that initial vision, even roughly, reach out to one person about it, practice one tiny skill related to it.
Yeah, like your own personal get ready with me moment,
Yeah.
but for success.
What does that look like for you? How could you start applying just one of these ideas today?
We've explored the roadmap in this deep dive,
Yeah.
but your actual journey, that
Mm.
starts now. Hopefully these insights give you a nudge, maybe some confidence to take those first steps.